All right, welcome to this week's BLT on Rye. You are here with your hosts.
I'm Benny for books.
I'm Luke for Lucha Libre.
Also,
You both messed it up.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, I know, it's
L. We're supposed to say the letter.
I was going into yours, like, I was trying to play into it. But
I was saying I'm Benny and I'm for the concept of books. I am not, opposed to it.
I am Lucha Libre positive. That sounds like I've caught Lucha Libre.
I hear that it is a fever, though, that once you're into Lucha Libre, you can't, shake it.
I think you're thinking of Nacho Libre. I get it.
The classic Jack Black comedy movie. Tori, you didn't...
I'm Tori for Triceratops. The best dinosaur.
I feel like we've done Triceratops before we did dinosaurs. We've
Okay.
got,
I'm Tori
11
for
episodes
Tricycle. What do you want from me?
We got 11 episodes. How have we repeated these so many times?
Because here's why I've said books so many times. Where I'm sitting, what I can mainly see is books.
And where I'm sitting, I can see a Triceratops out my window.
I gotta... What? Man, New York's crazy. This is what happens. We lock down, everyone stays in their home, and nature returns. We are the virus. The Triceratops are returning to their natural habitat.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. So
New York City.
I went to the park yesterday.
Which park? Madison Square Garden?
No, it's the one right by my... Well, it's not super close to my house, but it's...
I also meant to say Central Park, but instead said Madison Square Garden.
Just, New York Place.
It's,
Oh, the Statue of Liberty!
I'm walking in. Sorry.
It's
the big
park. It's next to the Hudson River, and so I was walking along the Hudson River, and there were, I'm not kidding, hundreds of just dead fish just floating on the top. And so I turned to my friend and I went, the earth is healing, we are the plague. There were just so many dead fish.
I love that meme. So, this week we switched up the formula.
It's an out-of-format episode.
Just a little.
If I had one, a soundboard, hint, hint, cough, cough, it was my birthday, I would do the beep, 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 beep.
When you say cough, cough, it was your birthday. It was your birthday maybe 3 months ago.
2 months ago.
Oh, also, I'd like to
list... It was less than 2 months ago.
All right.
Did you want us to buy you a soundboard for your birthday?
I'm just saying.
You gotta hint at that before.
Also, you don't have to buy that. It's not a physical thing. You can just go on websites and stuff and they've got this.
Okay, well maybe one of you should have gotten my phone and downloaded an app for me. I'm just saying.
You're interrupting something I'd like to do. It's very important that I do this.
Okay.
It's also a little belated, but I'd like to wish everybody a happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
I'm not familiar.
Who?
Bobby Bonilla Bobby Bonilla was a baseball player. He played for the Pirates for a bit in the early 90s. He was part of that Killer Bees lineup. He was then traded to the Mets.
Is that the guy that gets paid every year?
Yeah, that's what happened on July 1st. He got released by the Mets in maybe 2000, and they were going to have to pay him $5 million to get rid of him, to cut him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'll defer the payment, but then I'll defer for 10 years, but then every year from 2010 to 2038, you have to pay me $1 million. And they agreed to it.
What a power move. How did they do that? How did they bungle that so badly? 38 million? Yeah, that's fine.
Well, the reason they couldn't pay him was because the owner was involved in the Bernie Madoff scandal.
Oh.
He was involved in that Ponzi scheme, so all of his money was tied up in that. So he didn't have the $5 million to pay him. So despite not picking up a baseball bat in maybe 20 years, Bobby Bonilla just got paid $1 million.
Is Bobby Bonilla the only one that made money off the Bernie Madoff scandal?
Maybe.
Oh, man.
My other favorite one of those is there are 32 NBA teams but they split the TV money 33 ways. The 33rd team being the Spirit of St. Louis that played for 2 years in St. Louis in the ABA, not even the NBA. But somehow when they folded, they negotiated
a cut?
Yeah, of the TV money. So now these two brothers who own the team just have made millions of dollars off of
just
doing
for the
nothing.
one contract. Wow, that's great. So, slightly out of format episode. We did something different. We
Wait, Benny,
teamed up.
do you know Kennesaw Mountain Landis?
Yes. The racist baseball commissioner?
Yeah. There's a Jonathan Coltrane song that I love. Oh, maybe that's what I'm going to listen to next week. All right.
I went to go see Jonathan Colton live.
Shut up.
It was pretty dope. He was playing at the Rex in 2010.
It's like I can't have anything that I like and can show you guys.
Yeah.
I just have to have TikTok.
Yeah, I know. So, slightly out of format episode. We teamed up, worked together, and found something that the pair of us, each of the three pairs, enjoyed together, and passed it on to the third person who had not enjoyed such a thing yet.
So me and Luke picked The Mountain Goats for Tori.
Yes, the album The Sunset Tree.
Yes.
Me and Tori picked for Benny, My Brother, and Me, the podcast.
And me and Benny picked for Luke, the Sack Lunch Bunch, John Mulaney's show.
So, who wants to go first? All right, you two go first. Tell me, John Mulaney, Sack Lunch Bunch. Fill me in.
Yay!
Where to start with the Sack Lunch Bunch? It came out maybe last year, I want to say.
December 24th, 2019.
Wow,
Yes.
I would not have think that late last year. I was thinking that's crazy. But it is it's a comedy special. It's not really a stand-up special that John Mulaney is known for. I don't know why he did it. I don't know what led to this. Do you have any of that information, Tori?
Yeah, so he was inspired by the old TV shows that he had watched as a kid. I think there's even a bit in the beginning where he's like, this is, I thought, wow, TV sucks nowadays. Or maybe I'm just old. Anyway, this is a TV show for kids by adults. And it's just supposed to
As opposed to all of the other shows on television, which are made exclusively by children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's by kids for adults. I don't know, but I love... My favorite part is the beginning when he's like, they're like, is this for real? And he goes, so if it's good and people like it, then we'll say yes. And if it's not, then we'll say it's a joke.
Yes.
Which is how I live my entire life.
So, has he come out and said that it's ironic?
I don't know.
Because I believe the line was, if it's bad, we'll tell everyone it's ironic.
Yes.
And I also he does a very fun thing there where he kind of drops his voice. And and if it's a bad thing, we'll tell him it's ironic.
So he hasn't gone and told people it's ironic yet.
No, because I think people did like it.
Yeah, I watched, so I actually went to their live watch an event with John Mulaney, and all the Sack Lunch kids were in the front of us. They were all there. It was a school night. All their parents were there, too.
I spent a lot of time thinking of that joke, and I don't think anyone appreciated it.
Yeah, what joke did you make?
Saying he's come out and admitted that it's ironic already, right?
Oh, because you thought it was bad.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry, guys. This was pretty bad.
Luke, you shut your whore mouth.
I think I'm in the middle of you two. I think that there are moments that are very good, and there are moments that are very bad.
I agree with that. There are a few moments that are very good, and then all of the things that feel like they were written by children, like, I don't even know, because a lot of this feels like it was... It's like humor that was aimed at adults that was supposed to be written by kids. Like, it opens with the song Grandma's Boyfriend Paul.
I did not like that song.
Which is a story about how John Mulaney's kid version, his grandfather has passed and his grandmother is dating again, and it's Paul, and no one in the family likes Paul, but he thinks Paul's pretty chill. And like that concept, that joke sounds like something that an adult would write, but then the story is something that a kid would write. Like, Paul's pretty cool. Here's his many facets and quirks, and I kind of like Paul. And then there's really not much more to it than that.
There's a lot of these songs that I felt like could have been cut in half.
Yeah.
But also, I loved every bit where it was him interacting with the kids.
Yes. Whenever he would... Yeah, my two favorite things about this were him interviewing the kids about death and their greatest fears, which I think is just, like, phenomenal. I would have watched, like, an hour of that. And Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, like, Jake Gyllenhaal, that is brilliant.
Because he actually knows how to act, because he's not a child.
My favorite song in the entire thing is, "Do You Wanna Play Restaurant?"
And then she immediately rejects him from the restaurant.
That's how all New York restaurants work. If you go downtown and you're like, "Hey, I'd love to eat here," they go, "We're closed for an event. You should have called." And you're like, yeah. "Okay, bye." That's not true. I've never been turned away from anything.
My favorite thing was when the guy died. And he was trying not to tell them that the guy died.
Googie?
We have your obituaries. Do you want to see them? No.
That was Suri. Oh, sorry, Suri.
Or when the kid shows his grandparents and it's Joe Jackson.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, now was your dad famous as a kid singer and then even more famous? Or was he
just
famous as a kid singer and then not really famous anymore? I forget which Jackson.
Yeah, I do forget which Jackson, but it was very...
I'm going through the list of these. Bamboo 2 Bamboozled, the focus group for the animated movie, was pretty good.
That's
fine. I like that. Algebra Song, woof.
Okay,
that was Swing and a Miss.
I loved it. He's in Hadestown. That's Hermes in Hadestown that I made you listen to.
Yeah.
Andre.
The singing was all good. The children's singing was acceptable. It just like... What's it called? Hold on. A Shaggy Dog Story.
Yeah.
But it was like obvious that it was that the whole time. So like, I don't know. It just... Googie was alright. A Plain Plate of Noodles is like...
That was like their like single, like the release that like before it came out. I think
now,
that was...
You think, as somebody who doesn't eat a lot of food, I would love that song.
Yeah.
But it didn't really explore any of the ideas or issues I feel like us picky eaters deal with. It was just how he wants a plain plate of noodles with a
it was about 3.5 minutes, and it could have been like 20 seconds.
I mean, now this is making me curious. Like, Benny, what are you gonna eat at your wedding?
I've thought about this a lot. And I'm going to pitch to the woman who has for some reason agreed to marry me.
That you've duped into marriage. I'm kidding, you're a catch. It's fine.
What if we did like a casual thing that was like burgers and fries and like a cookout? Once she rejects that, I'll say, well, I have burgers and fries? Can everyone else eat whatever? And then...
I was going to say, I thought your response was going to be, well, I've got a practical plan for this, and I'm just never going to get married, so I never have to face this issue.
That's probably more realistically what's going to happen is I will just, the fact that I don't eat food leads to deeper issues in which I won't get married.
I wasn't saying it in like a, you're never going to get married sort of way, but in a... Your plan is, in your mind, you're going, okay, well, I can't do this, and I don't think anyone's going to be okay with that, so I just won't get married. That solves everything.
The whole time, I'm just saying to the girl, like, what, I need a piece of paper? The government has to tell me I'm in love? But really, I just am worried about the food.
Yes.
I don't really care if I ever get married. I just want to wear a pretty dress.
Same.
Like, I would love to have the reception. Like, that is fun. I don't need the ceremony or... My cousin had a ceremony that was maybe 10 minutes. And then, like, every time we go to a wedding, I say, like, remember that ceremony that was 10 minutes and how great it was? Why isn't everyone just doing that?
I've been to 3 weddings, and all the ceremonies were like, half an hour, 45 minutes. But the most of them, it was like, these are people that are important in my life, and they're looking so lovingly in each other's eyes, and the whole time I couldn't help but be like, ah. So, the half hour 45 flew by pretty quick. And the parties were sick.
Have you guys been to a lot of Italian weddings, by chance?
I've been to 2 weddings. Well, okay, no, that's not true. I've, performed at, wedding ceremonies with the band. But that's, I feel like that's different. But, I myself have attended 1.5. I attended my sister's wedding. And then, I will attend her next wedding as well, whenever that happens. Because Corona. And I was a DD for a wedding where, we were, it was, sort of out of town, and so my boyfriend at the time and they were like, we'll give you both, $100 if you just, cart people back to the hotel when they're ready.
That's fun.
That's nice. I completely forgot I went to a surprise wedding.
Yeah, you did.
I remember you telling us about that.
Yeah, that was bonkers. I'll reiterate just so it's on the podcast, so, I'll do it quick, too. The, friends of ours from college was informed that he's going to be in town celebrating his girlfriend's birthday, and he rented out a place at an upper room at a bar to hang out. And we're like, okay, cool. We'll go down, hang out, party. Haven't seen these people in a minute. We go down, and there's a lot of people there, and a lot of older people. And I'm like, this doesn't feel like super party. These people are, bars open, they're having drinks. On the drive down, I was told that it wasn't just going to be we were being served food. There was an open bar. We were like, wow, that's really extensive for just a birthday party. Just a whole open bar and just feeding us drinks. Oh my god. This is going to be a proposal. He's going to propose to her here or something. Even that seems a little... why would he bring us all for the proposal? Oh my god. This is the wedding. This is the wedding. It's happening. So we go down there, and finally he shows up, and we're like, oh, hey. And he's like, oh, I guess you guys have figured it out. Welcome to my wedding. And we're like, yeah, what the fuck? Surprise wedding? I would have dressed nicer. And he's like, no, I wanted a casual... I had a button-up shirt with dinosaurs on it. Also I always end up being the, joking backup officiant, because the actual officiant they had was running late and they couldn't get a hold of him. I think he was just driving and he wasn't answering texts. But he's like, yeah, so whenever my girlfriend comes in, she's gonna freak because she doesn't realize. It's like, oh my god, the bride doesn't know this is happening. It's like, yeah, I sent her on a scavenger hunt to find all the stuff, and she is a dress and shoes and the ring. She has all of it, so I hope she did well on the scavenger hunt, or we don't have a ring and stuff. And we were like, wow, what a power move. Just like, surprise, we're getting married. But they had talked about it before and like wanted something non-traditional, and she loved it. She broke down crying as soon as she walked in the room and saw like both families and a bunch of people in a little like trellis with flowers on it and stuff.
Oh.
It was very cute.
Gross. It's really cute. It's fine. I'm fine. I've heard this story before. I'm fine. Shut up. I'm fine. Ah!
So anyway, what was the next sketch in the Sack Lunch Bunch? Girl Talk with Richard Kind, where it was...
Fine.
That was alright. It was...
When he referred
anytime there's like... What?
Anytime he talked to the girls, he would just refer to them as Girl Talk.
Yeah. It's like, you are Girl Talk. Anytime there's like a competent adult in the scene, it is vastly improved. I'm sorry, but just like, kids are not good actors. The best child actors are like, okay, that's passable.
I think the best child actress is Kieran... What's her name? From Mad Men. She played Sally Draper.
No idea.
I'm probably going to pronounce her Shipaka? Shipaka is what I'm going to go with. She currently plays Sabrina Spellman on The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Spellman.
I started watching that once.
I like that shows like, hey, we worship Satan. It's like, oh, that's... You guys really went all in on that, I guess. Because the old TV show was like, oh, we're witches, but we're nice. And this is like, we're witches, but we're nice, but we worship Satan. If I recall.
Yeah, I think Satan's like a whole person, too.
Yeah, I think he's a character. I watched the first episode and she wasn't Sally Draper, and I got upset. If you were on Mad Men, you're the character you were on Mad Men forever.
You're trapped.
I've never seen Mad Men.
Oh, I know what I'm picking next week.
Pay Attention is literally like my theme song.
I was going to say, another swing and a miss for me.
That's wild. That's like, I legitimately, that's me.
Just pay attention.
There's like a cool fact, and I cannot remember when she was auditioning, so they like auditioned the kids, right? And then they auditioned like specific solo songs. And when they were auditioning her for like that solo song, they had her sing some other song that was like wildly... You know what? Let me go ask my roommate real quick. I'm gonna just keep this audio rolling, and I'll be right back.
Fact Check Crew 2. The Offsite Fact Check Crew.
Molly's our official stenographer, I've decided.
Oh, yeah.
Hello. I don't have a roommate to assign a job to.
Oh. But you got it.
Yeah, we didn't tell Tori that. We're going to tell her on the podcast, and I don't know how she's going to react.
Yeah. And if you're listening at home, what if we just didn't tell her? Like, just this is it. Everyone else that listens to the podcast finds out beforehand.
It'd be a fun way to find out if Tori listens.
Yeah.
You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette.
What?
You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette.
Oh, okay.
Which her parents were like, are you sure? I think it says like bastard or something.
Oh. Oh no. It says a bad word. They're theater kids. They're allowed to swear. They say all sorts of bad words. Tori, do you listen to the podcast after it's posted?
I try to.
I mean, like, you can be honest, because I don't. I edit the thing together. I live the thing. I don't need to listen to it.
I listen in, like, big chunks, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be, like, 3 weeks, and I'll be like, oh, I got 3 episodes to listen to.
I mean, I absolutely plan to go back and listen to whatever you two fools were talking about while I was not on mic.
We weren't really talking about you. We were just discussing something we haven't told you.
What's that?
I kind of want to just
I kind of just want to wait.
Although, on the other hand, I still haven't edited the other episode, the previous episode.
And we also never said what it was. We just said, oh, we haven't told Tori yet.
Yeah.
You will both give me an aneurysm. I swear to God, what's happening?
Well, we were talking as you left the room to go talk to Molly. I said fact-checking crew 2, and Benny said that Molly's the stenographer, and he doesn't have a roommate to give a job to, but he's going to.
You're moving in with Luke.
I am.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
It'll
god!
be fun.
When was this decided? You guys!
I mean, I think it'll be fun, but like, you're acting like we're getting married or something.
Yeah.
Okay, you basically are, and I am an ordained minister, and I will do that for you.
I'm an ordained minister too. I can do it.
Okay,
I
the
don't
Church
think
of
that
Satan doesn't
moving
count.
in with somebody is basically getting married.
But Benny, if we do get married, I'll let you do the cookout.
Oh, thank you.
I'm down with that.
See?
Well, load off my back then.
Yeah.
You
I gotta hop on this opportunity while I have it.
Benny, when are you moving there?
August?
Yeah, lease is up end of the month.
Which room are you gonna take?
The empty room?
Yeah, the empty one. I like you, Benny, but I'm sorry you're not moving into my room.
I figured.
Okay, well, what the fuck, Luke?
If you wanna throw up a sleeping bag every so often and just crash for the night, that's fine. We can do little sleepovers in my room. But, life's gonna be a sleepover.
Yeah. You're
So
about to
anyway.
see how much pizza a human can consume. I don't think you understand how much pizza I really eat.
I figured it's like one oven baked pizza per day,
Yeah, pretty much.
and then interspaced with sometime delivery pizzas.
Yep.
You'll have to get used to the delivery places around here. Pizza Company and Pizzaburg are pretty good.
Okay.
I can't believe you guys are just telling me this. When was this decided?
Maybe 2 hours ago.
Yeah, actually, it was when you hopped on Discord before Tori got on. So the length of this podcast minus like 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to come visit. It's gonna make parties so much easier.
It will.
It's true.
Also, I have to leave at 2, so we might want to...
Oh, right. Sorry. Sack Lunch Bunch. What else? There's Pay Attention. Do Flowers Exist at Night? It
Do
was
Flowers
kids singing,
Exist at
so I
Night
didn't
is
like
so
it.
good.
Oh, there was the paper mache thing with the
Yeah.
volcano.
With Andre DeShields. No,
Which I thought David Byron
that one.
did a good job there.
Yeah, I like him. He seems like a cool guy.
That's the theme here that I've got going, is the adults did a good job and the kids are kids.
Oh, here's the hot take. I don't like anybody under 23.
That feels a little high for my taste. I would go like 19, but
Yeah, Benny, we were friends when I was under 23.
Yeah, but like individuals you can like, but as a group,
yeah, group of kids. Woof.
yeah, like a group of 21-year-olds.
Ugh.
Also, I don't think you have to actually mean hot takes.
Yeah.
You just kind of say them.
Yeah. Also, I feel bad because for the longest time I didn't realize hot takes had the connotation of like, this might just be a crappy thought off the top of my head. This might be very bad.
Yeah.
And someone said something that I was like, oh yes, I agree with this wholeheartedly. And I was like, ooh, I like that hot take. And everyone was like, it's not really a hot take. And I'm like, oh, does that mean something different than I thought it did?
I'm
And it was like, yes, it does.
gonna plug my friend's basketball podcast, Shot Takes, where if you make a hot take about basketball, you have to take a shot.
Oh. I feel like that would do very poorly as a rule system here because that's about all we've got.
Oh yeah, he said if I ever were to come on, I would get blackout drunk.
Yeah.
Because I'm all hot takes.
Okay, well, I think that's John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch. I get why you guys like it, and I get why people would like it, but it just really fell flat for me because children are not good at things often.
When they did the talk back, it was basically dropped that there will be more of these.
I'm sure that has been slowed due to the coronavirus.
Yes.
I would genuinely sit down for like an hour of them interviewing kids that are like they're at that perfect age where they're gaining sentience. Like they have their own personalities developing, and they think about things in more interesting and abstract ways, and it's not just like, I go to school, I like my peanut butter jelly sandwich, I go home, I play tag. Like, there's something happening in that noggin. And, like, I think my favorite part of this may have been when they were talking about fears, and the one girl was like, home invasions, being murdered in my sleep. And then followed shortly by, do your parents have any fears? Like, yes, my mother is afraid of home invasions and being murdered in her sleep. And it's like, do you think you got that from her? It's like, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was just so dark and out of nowhere, and like the child is realizing that, like, yes, my mom is making me afraid of home invasions.
And I wonder if her mom like watches that and says like, "Oh shit."
Like, oh Christ, whoops.
No, I think that's a fair thing to make somebody afraid of.
Or the dude that like the kid who like cannot fall asleep at night because he's afraid of dying in his sleep.
Yeah. Like, being cautious about a home invasion is one thing. Being like, hey, my mom drills it into my head that I should lock my doors and leave the porch light on. Okay, that's fair. The mom that's like, I'm afraid of dying. An invader's gonna break in here and stab us. Like, that's... Don't do that to your kid.
I don't think they meant to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure not, but I guess be more cognizant of the things you say around your kids so you don't impart that sort of fear, that sort of neurological thing. Anyway, what do we do next?
I'll go next.
All right.
So I listened to My Brother and Me, an episode you guys picked.
Yes.
And I had, this might sound very dumb, I had a revelation as I was listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have a brother.
An interesting revelation.
We've just learned Benny does not have a brother.
Well, here's the thing. I've always kind of known that. Well, I've always known it... Factually. But listening to this, I realized, like, I kind of don't understand what it means to...
have that connection.
Yes, and I kind of, like, in my head, I was like, oh, I do, because I have, like, a very good friend who I grew up on the same street with, and we were basically inseparable till we were, like, 22. But even then, there were, like, probably days where we did not see each other. And I think if you're a brother, you're just, like, with each other all the time, and I don't understand it.
I saw something very recently that I thought was a good summation of that, like, and it's different for brothers and sisters and whatnot, but it was, having a sibling is giving them a kidney if they need it, but refusing to get them a glass of water. Like, you're down the ride for life, but like, man, this person is just obnoxious so much of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Benny, I don't feel like you are the type of brother who would do this. Luke, I feel like you maybe, of like, I could come home at any point in the day, and like, I could either be met with like my best friend or a professional wrestler, and I was gonna get body slammed.
Me and Liz, whenever we like argued or even just like hung out and were friends, I was never the wrestling move type.
I mean, maybe when I was, like, very, very young, but not any time past, like, 8.
Yeah.
I'd say. Me and Gabby, I mean, everyone always used to say that when we agree, we're fighting about it. Like, we will constantly be, like, saying the same thing, but very angrily at each other.
Yeah. I know that feeling, yeah. I've got 2 cousins that are, one's a year younger than me and one is 3 days older than me. So, we've kind of always... I know it's definitely not, like, the same thing that living in the same house forever would make the sort of connection, but, like, I feel closer to that than what you might have, Benny, I think. But, yeah, I still don't have...
Well, yeah,
I also don't have a brother.
Yeah, my friend who grew up down the same street is my cousin. So, like, it's kind of...
Oh.
Like, there is kind of, like, a familial connection. So, it's, like,
Hey.
And we're 10 days apart. So...
That's, like, exact same thing. My cousins live right down the road. Oh, okay, so no, we're together. But we both don't have brothers.
But listening to this, I realized, like, it's still not... brothers.
There's a nuance to it.
Yeah.
There's like an amount of knowing each other so perfectly well that you can practically predict what you're going to say. Well, how did you like it?
It was fine. I liked when they talked about America's Next Top Model, which reminds me, I know that I often tell people to talk to me about reality TV, and I realize that I should specify I don't like things that have judges. So your America's Next Top Model, your Ink Masters, your Project Runways. You can know if I would like it is if the contestants are incentivized to lie and manipulate each other.
But, like, that's any reality TV show.
Yeah, but, like, on, let's say, America's Next Top Model, you gain nothing from lying. You either did well in the thing, or you didn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But on Big Brother...
You can't lie and be like, oh, I did good on the runway. No.
Yeah, but on Big Brother, you can lie and try to get somebody else to believe something about another contestant, which turns them against them, which leads to them being voted out.
So, you thought it was fine, which I think that's a good, a reasonable assessment of My Brother and Me for a lot of people. We picked this one specifically because there was a bit that's like one of the better ones over the course of the show.
The cursed sword.
Yeah.
That, I don't know, like, it was kind of like what Tori said about Hollywood Handbook, which I am just saying to pay her back for this, was that my phone just kind of made noise at me.
Okay, you can't say that just because you're mad.
You don't like my thing, so I don't like your thing.
Benny, that's not how this works. I've liked other things.
But
It's funny. I think I've disliked the most things, and I've only gotten kind words.
But I'm joking, of course. Yeah. And, like, it was not that it wasn't funny. Like, it was funny, but, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like it was also, there was a heavy focus on, like, humor about things I didn't know about. So, like, there was a whole thing about, like, a Dreamcast. And I only knew one kid with a Dreamcast.
Same.
I'd like to tell a story about him, but I don't know if I should.
I don't know what a Dreamcast is.
I won't say his name.
Yeah, go for it.
Anybody listening knows. So, it's really about his dad. It's not even his dad, it's like his stepdad. I worked like a summer in the town we grew up in, the road crew. Just like helping like stuff like that.
I've seen a picture.
And his dad also works on the road crew. He's full time. And he knew how to operate one of the machines, but he wasn't like, he couldn't legally do it because he never took the test. And I was like, well, why doesn't he just take the test, like, if he knows how to do it? And they said, because he's illiterate.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, wow.
In this day and age.
Yeah, it was very, very shocking to hear. But he's making enough to get by his son a Dreamcast, so, you know.
Yeah.
Doing all right.
I mean, my mom used to work at the courthouse in my hometown, and a lot of people would come in and, like, would not be able to sign their name. Like, they would just have to, like, do, like, the X or, like, a line. Because they couldn't read.
It's a real failure of our educational system.
I imagine at that point, a lot of those people may have not gone through the educational system.
Yeah. I think, especially in my hometown, like, they would drop out to go work, make money for the family.
Yeah. So, real quick, I just looking at the Wikipedia article for My Brother, and Me. They got Jimmy Buffett on an episode?
Yeah, they were also invited to the premiere of Margaritaville, the musical, on Broadway.
That's fun.
Which is a very... So, some people have a big issue with Jimmy Buffett because he's like one of the wealthiest, like, performing singers. He's got his own retirement community, and he does not do a lot for charity. And so...
Also, Benny, I appreciate that joke. His big brother Warren.
Yeah, his older brother Warren gives him a lot of money. But
they are, like, now, like, very good friends with Jimmy Buffett.
It's funny.
So, people are mad he doesn't give money to charity?
There are, like, I literally I'm on a Facebook group that was, like, Jimmy Buffett on My Brother, and Me. And I was like, okay.
I think you cut
a riveting story, thank you.
I'm looking for it right now. I'm trying to get on it.
Okay.
I was going to say, when I used to work security out at, like, the concert venues around town, the Jimmy Buffett Day at Star Lake was always... That was like a bring a lunch day of, like, this is going to be some hard work.
Mm.
And not even that, like, they were mainly older, so it's not like...
It's not like you had to fight drunks or something.
Well, you didn't have to fight drunks. You just kind of had to
corral them.
Like, it wasn't like a country concert. You had to fight drunks. Not like, you know what I mean? Like, they would try to fight you and they'd shove you, but it would just be more like you'd just be kind of trying to do your thing, and like a 50-year-old drunk man in like a Hawaiian shirt would like come up to you and like put his arm around you and be like, "Hey man, how do you like this job?" And you'd be like, "It's fine, sir. I'm kind of trying to get other people into the venue. Can you just give me some space here?" And be like, "Oh yeah, it's cool, man." Like, "Thanks."
Are there any, like, interesting patterns you notice, or, like, shows that you would be, like, you see your work on this day and be like, oh, cool, that's an easy day, or, like, woof.
Oh, yeah. Like, easy days are, like, Hall & Oates, anything where it's, you know that it's adults, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's an easy day.
Except Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, except Jimmy Buffett.
So Jimmy Buffett was a guest of Epstein's Island.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow. Him and Malcolm McDowell are the two people I know.
The one thing I'll say, if there were ever to be a benefit of a doubt, Jimmy Buffett just kind of likes islands. But...
That's true. Somebody said, "Do you want to go to an island?" And he was like, "Yep."
He showed up and
Take me there.
That joke was probably in poor taste, but whatever.
Was it? Can we get a ruling on that?
Tori, thoughts?
I didn't know about this, and now I'm having like an identity crisis because every single December 25th, I say the only holiday is Jimmy Buffett's birthday, and I just blast Margaritaville, and now I'm like, what do I do?
I mean, you did not know that information until now. You can't be blamed for not knowing it.
Yeah.
I could have looked into it.
But, like, why would you?
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like, why would that cross your mind to be like,
Do you regularly go through plain manifest?
No.
Right, so you're fine.
Sometimes.
I mean, it'd be different if you learned that information and it didn't affect you.
They had Jesse Eisenberg on the show, huh?
I was also going to say, I learned through working security that people who like country music carry knives.
Oh.
That literally, I want to say one of the first concerts I worked was Luke Bryant, and I was, like, out at the front patting people down. And, like, 75% of the people would be, like, take out what's in your pockets, and they'd take out a knife, and I'd be like, why do you have a knife?
You can't bring that in here.
they were like, "Oh man, I just forgot I had it. Let me walk back to my car." And I was like, but my supervisor was like, "Yeah, man, like some people, it's just wallet, phone, keys, knife."
Yeah, I could understand that, like, especially if you're working something more manual labor-y. Like,
Yeah.
You gotta cut stuff sometimes.
I guess I really revealed that I was a city boy in that moment. I was like, "Why do all these people have knives?" And they're like, "'Cause I work for a living."
I literally, my face fell. I currently have a knife in my purse that I take like outside. Like I have my it's like my outside bag. Like I've got my blanket, my hammock.
I thought you were gonna say your outside knife, and then you got your inside
You
knife.
got your indoor knife. Well, I mean, true, kind of. Like I just use a kitchen knife inside, but like if I'm outside, like
That's your stabbing knife.
well, okay, stabbing, or if like it used to be like in Wyoming, like if like somebody got like caught in a fence, or like I would see like deer caught in fences all the time, and you go over and you fucking rip the fence apart, get the deer out. Or, like, now in New York, I'm like, if I ever saw, like, I don't know, like a pigeon caught in plastic or something, I'd go over and cut the plastic.
Man, life in Louisiana was wild.
I was also going to say about my brother and me. Do they still live in West Virginia?
One of them does. Justin and his dad still live in Huntington, West Virginia.
You can kind of hear an accent in sometimes.
Is it modern? For the modern era?
I thought he just bungled that once and it was just a running joke.
No, that's just how he's always pronounced modern.
Modern era. Yeah, like... But other people say that too. Well, I guess they're probably just joking about it at that point.
Travis and Justin have the exact same birthday, just like a couple years apart. Travis was born on his birthday and Justin has never forgiven him.
Who is your favorite brother? You probably, from one episode, aren't able to differentiate voices and what was your favorite. But...
Well, I did listen to the most recent episode as well. And that's when I came to my revelation about I don't have a brother.
Right.
I would say... I couldn't really tell their voices apart. But there was... Whoever was getting mad at the bit that was... Can you curse a sword? Was making me laugh the hardest.
I guess that would be Griffin.
Griffin, yeah, it's Griffin.
Damn. Well, he's only listened to 2 episodes. If he listens to any more, he'll see the light.
No, he won't.
Well, is it that he's always doing that? Is he always the one who's...
That one was good because, he's playing into it. But, like, at the end, whenever the ending was, the joke was the whole time he's like, curse a real sword, ooh. And then it ends with $100.
That's not what I asked.
Yeah. But I think Griffin was like genuine. He was like, you missed the dismount. You didn't stick the landing. You killed the joke. And it was like, no, that was the joke. You're bad at this, Griffin. He's not bad at it, but just...
You know what, Luke?
I shouldn't say anything because I am not funny, but it irks me. It irks me so.
I hate admitting this, but after we had our big discussion about, like, Griffin and Play Along at Home and him killing Travis's bits, I heard it. I was like, but I think it's just Play Along at Home. Griffin does not like that one. He was like...
he does it with so many other things.
My favorite thing, though, was that somebody on Twitter was like, I was listening to the new episode, and as soon as they started, like, the Play Along at Home, I had to turn it down. I just, like, I couldn't. I get, like, what Griffin was going on about. And Justin found the tweet and just commented, blocked. And the person was like, no, I, like, turned it back up. I just needed a minute.
For your information, Benny, they do a couple, like, running gags. Let's see. Munch Squad's probably the most popular one, where they just, like, they talk about press releases from, like, fast food chains whenever they do some ridiculous horse shit. Like, the KFC Double Down. They'd, like, just read it and talk about it. Haunted Doll Watch is pretty good. They find haunted or cursed dolls on eBay and talk about the listing. But the one they have is Play Along at Home, which is like a trivia game show, and the Travis, who asks the questions, will, like, be like, oh, you can play along at home with this one, and like pause so that the audience can like try and answer, but it's a podcast, so they don't. It's very Dora the Explorer, and everyone hates it. By everyone, I mean just the other two announcers, but I think it's pretty good.
I get it.
Yeah,
I think you would both yell at me.
Play along at home on the episode I listened to.
Here's what I think. If we were like the three brothers, I'm Griffin, obviously. Clearly.
Yeah, but that's not a good thing.
Shut up.
Which one am I?
I think you're Justin. Well, okay, I don't know.
What does that mean?
And I'm Clint.
No, okay, I actually...
Well, I'm sure somewhere someone online has made a Which McElroy Are You quiz, and we can find it.
I'm sure somebody online has written the article, which BLM host are Which McElroys. What's our
you just said BLM.
Called? I did.
BLT.
Because as I was saying it, I've been seeing that acronym so much, it was just in my head. But I was also trying to plug the Black Lives Matter movement, of course. Also, you saying press release reminded me, have you guys seen that weird Meghan Trainor press release?
No.
Here's the opening line. Meghan Trainor, the singer, The opening line is, Valentine's Day is around the corner, and whether you're planning on smashing Bay's junk to smithereens or making out with a pint of fish food, you need some fresh Valentine's Day bops to get you in the mood for love.
When was this press release? Please tell me it was actually around Valentine's Day.
It was February 8th, 2009, and it's just all like that. It is way too, trying way too hard.
When you and Bay be, smashing your bits together, right?
No. What's that?
Ugh.
Another line says, we know you want to hear songs about all the hot newlywed sex Megan and Daryl are having. I assume Daryl is her husband.
Ugh. We know you want to hear Megan singing about getting up in them guts.
And this is the perfect segue from one personal singer-songwriter to another.
Yes. Mountain Goats, the Sunset Tree.
Their ninth studio album.
Which is crazy, because how many studio albums do they have?
Well, if you think about it, really, this is their third studio album. The first 6 were recorded in his bedroom.
18. They have 18 albums. So this... the Mountain Goats are mostly... do they have the same members?
It's really just John Darnell, and he kind of brings in people to fill out the band on each album. I'm sure it's sometimes the same people. I'm sure he has relationships with people.
Wait, is Meghan Trainor married to a mountain goat?
No.
It was a bit of a non sequitur. We're just getting...
I was making the joke
getting
that
on, because
Meghan Trainor was being way too personal, and the mountain goats at times can be the mountain goat can be way too personal at times.
Yeah, because this entire album is basically about how his stepdad beat him.
He also dedicated it to his stepdad.
Yeah. Because he seems to have led an incredibly interesting life. He used to be addicted to methamphetamines, and then he got clean and is one of those, sort of clean, serene, very introspective sort of people, I would say. The liner note that I think you're talking about, because this was recorded the same year that his stepdad died.
Yeah.
Is made possible by my stepfather, Mike Noonan. May the peace which eluded you in life be yours now. And then dedicated to the young men and women anywhere who live with people who abuse them with the following good news. You are going to make it out of there alive. You will live to tell your story. Never lose hope. So, Tori, album thoughts?
Yeah. You know what? It reminded me, it was very much like Iron and Wine and the Punch Brothers had a baby.
I'm
very
familiar with Iron and Wine. I don't know the Punch Brothers.
Well, maybe that will be my choice for next time. I love the Punch Brothers. Yeah, I enjoyed it. a lot of the songs were very similar though. Like there were points where I was like, is this a different song? The one, let me see, the one like distinct change was Dilaudid.
You said love, love, love. A what?
Dilaudid.
Ah.
That was like, so like the first three were very similar. Like very similar keys, very similar like rhythm. And then Dilaudid, I was like, okay, this is like different. I loved dance music and Song for Dennis Brown.
I love dance music is one of my favorites. I think This Year might be my favorite Mountain Goat song.
That's up there for me.
Definitely.
Love, Love, Love is really good.
Yeah. Definitely the lyrics, I'm going to make it through this year if it kills me. I think a lot to myself.
Same.
Does the Mountain Goat, there's a TikTok song that's like, and I hope
No Children, yeah.
What?
The song's called No Children, and
Yes.
the chorus is...
And I hope you die. I hope we
I
both
hope
die.
you die. I hope we both die. And I hope the junkyard a few blocks from here someday burns down. And I hope the rising black smoke carries me far away, and I never come back to this town again. Yeah, it's really good.
I am drowning.
I'm drowning. That's what I know from
There
TikTok.
is no
No
land.
You are coming down with me, hand in unlovable hand, and I hope you die.
That's a song about marriage.
Yeah.
So this is also his first album. I believe this is his first album that is about himself at all. My other favorite album of his is All Hail West Texas, which is he recorded it all on a boombox that I guess is wired to, instead of play music, record music. And just like in his room, it recorded like whatever was happening in the room. So if he like stamps his feet, you can hear it. But I don't think a single of those songs are like in the first person. They're all about other people and their stories.
There is, I know one, the fall of the high school running back, he says, well, I guess it's not first person. He just says, like, I wrote this for you.
Oh, yeah. But that's, of course, about William Sanderforth Donahue. His grandfather rode the boat over from Ireland, but he's made a bad decision or two.
Yeah, that's a really good album. Some of the later, like, concept albums, like,
Yeah.
are pretty good. I like those.
He had one about his D&D campaign, didn't he? In League with Dragons?
Yeah, in League with Dragons. And then, what is it? Beat the Champ is all about, like, wrestling. And I thought that was very good. There's a whole album about goths. It's called Goths.
So would you listen to more albums, Tori? He has a bunch.
I would. I love Iron and Wine, and I love the Punch Brothers, and I think this is, like, a good balance between
I
those two.
would not be surprised if Iron and Wine was heavily influenced by this. Like,
When did Iron
'Cause
and
this-
Wine come out?
2004 or 5 was his first album, or 2002 was his first album.
Oh, I'd bet.
Because this is like,
There's 9 studio albums in for them.
yeah, and they were like, I don't want to say big, but like in this sort of scene and environment, like very influential as far as I'm aware. Also, Iron and Wine was on. Do you guys know Studio AV or the AV Underground?
Is that part of the AV Club?
Yeah.
Possibly that where they do covers?
Yeah. The AV Undercover is the cover series, but it's the Onion's actual music recording. And they have a series where they'll bring up a thing, they'll pick this many songs. I think I talked about this on the Guar podcast. They'll pick like a list of songs and have bands come in and cover the songs and cross the songs off as they go, so the later you come in, the less songs you get to pick from. And Iron and Wine came in and covered Guar's Sick of You. And it was pretty good. And they at the end of the video, like it's just him and an acoustic guitar and a mic, and then at the end the camera pulls back and pans a little, and there's like 3 of the members of Guar like in full costume, like crying, like, "This is so beautiful."
Alright, it's 1:59, so I know Benny has to go.
We can stretch a little bit more. We can go if there's any final thoughts, if there's any...
You know what's funny?
Me.
I don't think, compared to our other picks, we had as much enjoyment here, and I'm positing a suggestion as to why. Because the things that connect, the things that we like in these pairs, it's like a Venn diagram, you know? There's 3 circles, and the overlap for the things that the two of us like, there's a narrower portion of that for the third person. You know, like that middle thing where everyone likes it is a little narrow. And if I'm picking something for you guys to listen to, I'm going to aim a little bit center. But if I'm picking something that we both like, me and Benny both like this, and me and Tori both like this, it's off to the side, maybe a little bit away from what the third person likes.
I mean, I liked it, so I liked mine.
Well, threw that one out the window. Nice, Tori. Oh, also, Up the Wolves is one of, I think, a very underrated song on this album.
Another line I often repeat to myself, and I don't know why, is I'm gonna kill all the judges.
Yeah,
I just enjoy the way he says it.
Yeah, just that moment of like, oh, I'm gonna show all you people, and it's, what? I'm gonna bribe the officials. I'm gonna kill all the judges. It's gonna take you people years to recover from all of the damage.
I made a little mock-up of what I think the Venn diagram looks like.
Yeah.
It was just on a photo that I accidentally took yesterday while I was walking in the park, so I didn't... It's loading right now. Into the Discord.
But yeah, I think that's about all I got.
Yep.
I really like the Mountain Goats. And I think their albums are very good. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
I like them. I think I'll probably listen to more Mountain Goats.
I highly recommend.
All hail
West Texas.
Oh, I don't believe in West Texas as a place, so.
Well,
yeah, Tori will connect there because she was East Texas.
East is kicking your ass.
Is that close? That's the other one. Tallahassee has no children on it, and
Tallahassee also entirely not about him. It's about a fictional couple getting a divorce.
Oh, picture's loaded. Let's see the Venn diagram. Yep. That feels right.
Right?
In case you're listening to the podcast, which you aren't, but in case you are,
in case you're listening.
In case you're here and you're hearing these words.
That's the most accurate statement. in case anybody out here.
Well, here's the thing. This audio might be coming out of their phone, but their phone is just making noise. There is a circle labeled B, a circle labeled L, and a circle labeled T. And then all of the points that overlap, the 4 different mini sections that overlap, are all labeled T. Because it seems, Tori, you just like things.
No. I'm saying that, like, so between the B and the L, what brings them together? The T. And between the B and the T, what brings them together? T. Between the L and the T, what brings them together? T. And what brings us all together? It's T.
I don't know. I feel like we could find some stuff that me and Benny like and you don't.
No, that's maybe, like, possible.
As a reminder, we almost listened to La Dispute this week, this would have been a very different episode.
Actually, I'm totally picking that for next week because, Benny, you haven't listened to Wildlife yet, have you?
No.
Okay, well, it's so good.
What is this?
I think it's probably their best album.
Okay. I feel bad keeping Benny.
Yeah, this has been BLT on Rye. We've been your hosts. I've been L for La Dispute, which we'll probably listen to next week.
I've been B for the best show on earth is Mad Men, which we'll probably watch next week.
And I've been T for the Punch Brothers, which I'll probably make you listen to next week.
Hey, we did it!
Hey,
Okay.
I don't have any social media. Don't follow me.
Follow me on social media. Too much Tori.
On all platforms.
Yeah. Sometimes it has an underscore between too much and Tori. Sometimes it doesn't. If you search it, you'll find me.
Alright. And that's been BLT on Right.
Wait, Benny, do you say anything at the end?
No, I don't say anything at the end. I also don't like that you've added to my bit.
It feels like it's our bit now.
Yeah, it does. It really felt like I had a bit. And you were like, ooh, I could have a bit.